Welcome to Hot Hero Sandwich with Robert Guillaume, Bruce Jenner, Marlo Thomas, and Barbara Walters. In conversation with Tom Cottle.
About 2 years ago, I had been living in New York for quite a few years, and when I went back home to live in Los Angeles for a couple of years, my dad was really excited that we were all back in the same city again. And he pulled out all these old home movies, and when we were, kids. And I couldn't even look at them. I mean, it was so embarrassing to see myself, pointing and pushing everybody around to get in the picture and kind of being like the boss, and my little brother just Mr. Cool, not caring whether he was in it or not, But then my sister was the one who, she had her face turned, she didn't want to have her picture taken, and there'd always be a shot of my father's arm dragging her into the shot. She was totally against it, and I was always sort of lining it up, and perfectly thrilled to stand right in front and smile like a big ham, and you look at it and you say, boy, that still exists. There's a lot of those little short people still exist in these taller people.
My sister and I, the only thing, there was a big changing point in our relationship. About I don't know when the year was. Peyton Place was on when Peyton Place was in Big and Heavy. She wanted to watch the show on Peyton Place, and I didn't want to watch it. I hated that thing. It was when it was a big hit. I wanted to watch something else. We were home by ourselves, the two of us. Well, we literally got into a knockdown, drag-out, punching fight over this thing, okay? Because we both were not going to give. And it got very serious, and I don't know who won or whatever happened. I don't even remember what the outcome was, who watched what show. I think we were both so mad at each other we both took off. But I think that was like the last straw. I mean, after that, we've been very close ever since. And then we're a very competitive family. We're always competing.
Against each other?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we have ping pong championships monthly, and where we battle it out on the ping pong table. I mean, we're always looking for something. But when we were younger, we got into this water skiing thing, and what's the first thing to do if you're a competitive family? Well, let's buy a pair of trick skis and see who can turn around first, and go backwards. We used to always count the trophies when we came home from water ski tournaments, who had the most trophies.
Was there competition in the family? All of you were smart. Was there a feeling of, he's the special one, he's...
Well, they tell me that they felt that at that time, but I didn't know anything about it.
You didn't feel special anyway?
I don't think I did. Maybe I did. Maybe that accounts for maybe I was a snob or something like that, Or maybe that was part of my personality that people didn't like. That I felt I was special.
I never had a birthday party because how could I have a birthday party when Jackie didn't have a birthday party? And who could Jackie invite to her birthday party? I didn't join the Girl Scouts because Jackie didn't join the Girl Scouts. I didn't go to Sunday school because Jackie didn't go to Sunday school. So this gives you very mixed feelings. You resent your sister. You're embarrassed by your sister. You love her so. You're so protective.
You say that your sister's handicapped. What exactly does that mean?
She is, she is slower thinking than some. I say that because if I say retarded, immediately there's a big square because retarded can cover everything. Otherwise, she's beautiful, she's charming, far more outgoing than I am, far sweeter than I am, and far more forgiving than I am.
We now return to Hot Hero Sandwich.
Where did the acting start? Do you know?
Well, I don't know, unless it started when I was in school, when I used to do school plays. We used to have school plays. We had a lady by the name of Ruth Gorizio who found out I could sing and started teaching me songs and putting me in the school plays, and I became kind of like a little star.
When I was a kid, I used to put on shows all the time for a nickel. and make programs, you know. Miss Margaret Thomas, that was going to be my stage name, since my name was Marlo. My real name is Margaret, and my nickname was Marlo, which was a baby name for Margot. So I thought it was a baby name. So on my programs, I used to say, Miss Margaret Thomas will read the such and such poem. And I had this closet in my bedroom that was a sliding door, and that was the curtain. You know, my sister would pull back the sliding door and say, Miss Margaret Thomas will now sing Toot Toot Tootsie. And then out I'd come and I'd sing Toot Toot Tootsie goodbye. I was really something. I was so terrible.
Did you get good reviews?
Always, always. My mother was always in the front row. You know, my mother would always pay a nickel and come and watch.
What was your future when you were 12? Do you have any idea?
No, I didn't think I had an idea then.
Take it day by day.
Yeah, take it day by day, go to school, you know, get out of school. I enjoyed sports, and it was one thing I did well in, so I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I went to college. I said, well, it's the logical, you know, series of events to happen now. You go into college and you become a phys ed teacher.
It wasn't until long after I graduated from college that I had any idea what I was good at or wanted to do. And I think so many kids receive the pressure from the time they're very little. What do you want to do when you grow up? I want to be a fireman. Isn't that cute? He wants to be a fireman. Then when you're 14, it's what do you want to be when you grow up? You can't say I want to be a fireman. You can't say I haven't a clue, because people expect it of you. When you're in high school, when you're older in high school, and you still say, I don't know yet, they think something's wrong with you. Well, I didn't know. I went all through college not knowing. And I had friends around me who were so talented. This one painted, and this one was going to be a doctor. I didn't know. I knew I loved kids. I thought, I'll teach. What I'm saying is, over the years, it's evolved until it maybe wasn't even until the last 10 years that I knew what I liked the most, and maybe not even until the last 3 or 4 years that I felt I wasn't just plain lucky, that I had some talent and was good at what I did. So that if somebody today says to you, what do you want to do? And you say, I want to be a, oh my gosh, I don't know. I think most of us don't know.
To these messages, we now return to Hot Hero Sandwich.
I like to think of myself as an industrious young man. I used to babysit, you know, love babysitting, always get requests. Once I started, I got more requests on the block than anybody else. But the one thing, my dad helped me out. We bought a lawnmower, a big lawnmower, sit-down one. And it was like $450 or something like that, way back, you know, in the late 50s. Early 60s was a lot. I mean, I think it was that much. It seemed like it was a lot of money, because my dad and I said, we'll go into business. And I think I was charging $3 a lawn, okay? Now it seems like, boy, what a deal, huh? But charging $3 a lawn, and I used to give my dad $2. I would keep $1 to pay for the machine. And then when the machine got paid for, then I would have all the profits. Unfortunately, I had it for a long time and never got the machine paid for.
I always felt, no, I've got to be able to work and support myself, because it can all be gone. When a few years ago I made that much publicized salary, and everybody thought, oh wow, she's going to have the houses and the fur coats. What it meant for me was security. My dad was ill then, and he has died since, but I could take care of my father and my mother and my sister.
We talk about poverty a lot in sociological terms or in economic terms, but can you talk to me a little bit about what it was in human terms, in your personal experiences? What did it mean to be poor?
I don't know. I suppose I really no money. Having no money to do anything or go anywhere or extricate yourself from, let us say, on a Saturday afternoon. I mean, you had to stay where you were. No swimming pool. No, not even learning how to swim. Not having a ball and a bat. Not having a football. Not having a bike.
We now return to Hot Hero Sandwich.
I can even tell you more stuff. I used to play the accordion. I mean, we can pick up these things. When I was in I have a picture of me as I was a Cub Scout, and the picture is me on stage with my Cub Scout uniform on with this accordion that is about that big, you know, and I'm hiding behind it, and Santa Claus right beside me during the Santa Claus, I guess it was a Christmas party that we were having, and I was playing the accordion while Santa Claus was doing something. But
Christmas was a very special day in the Thomas household, wasn't it?
Oh, yes.
You recall those days?
Yeah.
Can you recall one for me? What was a little bit what it was like?
Well, oh, I don't know. It was terrific because we did so many things. First of all, everybody had to do something personal, like write a song or a poem or memorize something or do a dance, something that you did. So that was one part of Christmas. Everybody had to do one of those. My sister used to always write poems, and I would sing or something. And then the rest of it was pretty much, there were so many presents and there was such a gaiety about it. My mother got such a kick out of the whole thing. My father was always taking pictures or hiding microphones and then later playing it for us. And it was just, you know, lots of family, lots of cousins, and a lot of people, a lot of goodwill. I don't ever remember a disappointing Christmas. And always we were together. I think that's probably the key of it. Because it was the one for sure time that nobody went anywhere.
You speak about the holidays as being a sad time. Do you recall what Christmas was like in those days?
It's cold in St. Louis around Christmas.
It's very, very cold. And mixed in with the poverty was the feeling of people coming together in joint efforts to, like, see that the poor and needy got a basket for Christmas. I don't know, but do they still do that? Yeah. Yeah, and we would get a basket, or we would get some stockings filled with something or other, and there would be a few presents. And then there would be like a Christmas dinner. You went to midnight mass. It really wasn't, for us, I don't remember it being such a festive holiday, you know? It wasn't something that you looked forward to in terms of how much fun you were going to have. One learned not to really want specific things, like a bike or a pair of skates. I mean, I learned early never to really pinpoint some things that I wanted.
Set your heart on something.
Yeah, yeah.
Hot Hero Sandwich will return after these messages. We now return to Hot Hero Sandwich.
I can never understand why certain things turned out for me the way they did. I can't, that's what I can't figure out. So therefore I can never really say, well, I really had it rough when I was a kid. Although looking back on it, I mean, everybody would say, well, you really did have it rough, kid. Good Lord. But I don't really think it's made that much of an impression on me.
I think I'm a real mature person. I mean, in that sense that I feel like I know everything, that I'm an adult. You know, I'm 29 years old now. It sounds fairly old. But as I look back at my childhood, there was a lot of things that I thought were very serious at that time that were really not that serious, that there's other things in life that's more important, and that you change in your life, that you become, you know, more of a person. And life goes on.
You know, all kids have their, all of us, not just kids, adults, our good days, our bad days. It's almost cyclical. Nobody's happy all the time. And I hope that few of us are depressed all the time. But it's very important for each of us to have someone we're awfully close to. And I don't think you can be protected from every pain. Just be aware that not everything that happens to you happens to everybody else. I don't think everybody goes through the same things. But everybody goes through the same feelings.
I wish I knew at a much younger age how sensitive everybody is. And that sensitive isn't just being able to cry at movies, but that everybody's carrying around with them a whole universe of doubts and conversations about themselves, and just that everybody's just hoping to be okay. You know, I wish I'd known that.
Hot Hero Sandwich. We'll be back after these messages. Shh.